Former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani never showed up for trial this morning in Lower Manhattan.
But hours later, a settlement was reached in his defamation judgment that he owed to former Georgia election workers. Alice Gaynor was in the courtroom.
As the hours ticked by, the witness stand remained empty. Rudy Giuliani was a no-show for his bench trial to determine whether he had to give up his Florida condo and 3 World Series rings in the defamation judgment against him. Early afternoon, it was announced court was adjourned until Tuesday with no explanation. But then his son Andrew Giuliani was spotted inside the courtroom with attorneys. Soon after, a settlement was announced.
He gets to keep the New York co-op, he gets to keep the Florida condominium, and he gets to retain all his personal belongings.
In 2023, a jury awarded Ruby Freeman and her daughter Shay Moss $148 million in a judgment against Rudy Giuliani for falsely claiming they engaged in a fake ballot processing scheme in Fulton County, Georgia during the 2020 election. They released a statement that reads in part, "The past 4 years have been a living nightmare. We have fought to clear our names, restore our reputations, and prove that we did nothing wrong. Today is a major milestone in our journey. We have reached an agreement and we can now move forward with our lives. We have agreed to allow Mr. Giuliani to retain his property in exchange for compensation and his promise not to ever defame us." Giuliani's attorney read part of his prepared statement, saying this does not involve an admission of liability or wrongdoing and that
no one deserves to be subjected to threats, harassment, or intimidation.
Andrew Giuliani, who Rudy says the World Series rings belong to, didn't say much about the case other than it was a good day.
I couldn't be any more proud of him than I am right now.
Last week, a judge in Washington, D.C. found Giuliani in contempt, saying he continued to defame the election workers. Rudy Giuliani's attorney would not say where his client was. He also wouldn't go into compensation numbers, only saying terms of the agreement were confidential. Outside of the federal courthouse in Lower Manhattan, Alice Gaynor, CBS News, New York.